Hi guys, welcome to Maddie's DIY channel. This is the very first video that I'm trying to make, and this is almost not almost. This is actually an afterthought. This is with regard to the Audient ID 22 audio interface, and it's something that I feel that a lot of Audient users might find useful. Is the ID 22 after the initial purchase of, I mean, after the initial period of say maybe 2 years after the purchase, it starts to give out some kind of crackling and popping sounds, and it comes out through the master bus as well as the headphone bus. So initially I thought it was some kind of a contact issue, where I tried to use contact cleaners to probably, I thought maybe there is some dirt underneath the dim switch or the cut switch, but that didn't seem to make any difference at all. And as time kept on going, it progressively the problem progressively kept getting worse. So I went through a lot of material on the internet and couldn't get like any conclusive answers. So eventually I decided to write a letter to Audient, where they did reply back promptly. The problem for me is the service center in India is in southern India, and I'm located in the western part, and the turnaround time, no matter what, will take a fair bit of time. Like, so I thought of, why not open the thing and have a look around. So there is one particular post on Gearslutz which kind of pointed out to a specific issue with a capacitor that is located somewhere near the push-pull transformer driver, and there is a tendency of the device getting a lot of heat from the nearby components and resulting in the capacitor failing at times, and at times, not entirely failing, but just causing a lot of issues with the output. So I thought, let's give it a shot, and that's what I did. And so far it's been about a couple of days since the fix, and the problem seems to have vanished. So I think it's a fairly straightforward fix, and a lot of people might actually benefit from this. So without wasting any more time, let's dive deep into it, and I'll be back with the next part of this video where I can recollect my thoughts. Okay, before we begin, let me point out that I'm not an expert at this, and I would recommend you guys to try it at your own risk. And I cannot take any responsibility for any damages that may happen from this, although I don't think it's that serious or that critical a fix. But just putting it out there. So with that out of the way, it's a straightforward fix. Let's get to it. Basically, the component that seems to have been failing is a 2.2 microfarad capacitor, and it's rated at 63 volts. Although there have been people who've tried capacitors rated at 50 volts, and it's worked fine for them. So that's the component that you need to get. And the tools that you'll need to open this is, you'll need a hex screwdriver of about 2 to open the top 4 screws on the top panel. You'll also need a Phillips head screwdriver, and you'll need like some kind of a box spanner, or maybe nose pliers to take to remove the nuts from the speaker connectors and all the jacks on the rear panel. Okay, so with the tools and the components in place, and of course, I'm assuming that you have a decent fair bit of knowledge of soldering, and you've got a soldering gun and some flux and some solder to do the job. So with that out of the way, let's begin opening the chassis. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is to remove the top 4 screws by using the hex screwdriver. Okay, and while doing that, you do not need to remove the knobs uh, on the top panel, because they do not, as I learned later, that they do not come off anyways. So there's no need to remove that. I simply wasted time by trying to remove those. So keep them there and just remove the top 4 screws. Okay, so once that is done, you go on to the rear panel. Now on the rear panel, there are these 5 Phillips head screws, black colored ones, as you can see over here. uh, get them out first, followed by all the nuts and washers on all the individual connectors. Once they are out, the top panel should slide out comfortably. Like, it's very easy to slide it out once all these screws are out. You shouldn't feel any great resistance, so try and, like, nudge it out of the box. So once it is out, you lay it on uh, you lay the top side onto the table, and on the circuit board you'll find this location, like, on the rear, which you can clearly see a transformer which has Nexus written on it. And next to that is the capacitor, which now is an orange color one, but the one that originally sits there is a blue color one. I'll show it to you in the picture. That's the one that you need to fix. I mean, that's the one that you need to replace. So um, here's the picture of it. Here's the brand for those who are interested in getting the identical one. And those are as you can see, like, I've added uh, legs to it, like, just to test it at a friend's place. And right enough, like, this I don't have a capacitor tester with me, so I'd gone to a friend's place, and right enough, this wasn't functioning at its best. So that's the faulty one, and I've replaced it with this orange color one that you can see in the picture. Once you're done with the soldering, it's fairly straightforward to put the unit back. One thing to point out is, don't try and put the screws on the rear panel just as yet. I would recommend matching the screw holes on the top panel first, getting a few screws in there, tightening that bit of first, and then moving on to the rear panel. It'll save you a lot of time. Because the alignment just doesn't seem to happen properly, like, if you try to put it the other way around. So there's nothing much to it. Like, it's just about replacing one failing capacitor, and once that's done, I'm pretty sure your unit is gonna work fine, just like mine has been working for the past few days. And I hope this video helps you. It has been helpful to you, and let me know in the comments. And please go easy on it, because this is the very first video that I'm trying to make, and it just came out from the urge of sharing with people of something that I feel that a lot of people would benefit from. So hope it works out for you, and all the best. Take care.